Hello everyone, today I'll be doing a solo Master Nightfall run, the Inverted Spire with Warlock. For my subclass, I'll be using the Stormcaller Widow Tree. For my kinetic, I'll be using the Hawkmoon. This is the rolls I'll be using, Killing Wind and the Smooth Grip. Next, I'll be using the last Perdition Void Pulse Rifle. Next, I'll be using the 7th Seraph Soul Machine Gun with Major Spec. For my helmet, I'll be using Double Machine Gun Ammo Finder with 5 Intellect and Shield Break Charge. Next, I'll be using the Unstoppable Hand Cannon with Anti-Barrier Pulse Rifle, High Energy Fire, and 10 Recovery. Next, I'll be using 10 Recovery, Machine Gun Reserves, Arc Resistance, and Global Reach. Next, I'll be using Exotic Geomag Stabilizers with Discipline Mod, Machine Gun Scavenger, and Taken Charge. Next, I'll be using Bomber Spoils Award to get some heavy and charge up. So we're gonna get our Sparrow and quickly proceed to the next section, since in this area it is 0 points. So sometimes you will see a lot of Blueberry Guardians in your way, and I would highly recommend to let them kill all the ads, and I most likely will take advantage of it. So if this was Grandmaster, I would definitely let the Guardians to help me out, since it's 0 points, so you just want to get to the actual Nightfall area as fast as you can. Quickly went on my Sparrow, and I'm going to wait for these fellow Blueberry Guardians to take down the ads for me, since I want to save my primary ammo for the next section up ahead. Sometimes ads are already clear when you load in to the Nightfall, so you can quickly Sparrow, and also here as well. Unfortunately, there will be Guardians that will die helping you, but it is a sacrifice I'm willing to make. Okay, I'm just joking, but if you do see fellow Blueberry Guardians dying next to you, I highly recommend you revive them just to make their day happy. So you can see here I helped here and there, and I decided to wait for 2 fellow Guardians to go on the teleporter so I can use my Sparrow and just say hello and goodbye to them. So yes, I'll be going on my Sparrow, and yes, thank you very much for your assistance, and we'll be proceeding to the actual Nightfall. So sometimes little things like that can happen, and it can be a little annoying, especially, you know, it can waste 2 minutes when dealing with points, especially for Legend. Legend would be a bit different than Master, where you can take your time. We're going to be dealing with 4 champions, and we're going to deal with a couple of snipers. What I like to do is first take down the snipers, so since they can 2-shot you. Then I like to go up to this platform, and I like to just deal with the mini Cabal boss that has Solar Shield. I want to take it down first, and then deal with the barrier champions. So the ads, the Vex, do like to shoot down this Cabal too, but this Major can sometimes be a headache, and I decided to just take it down. So if you're using Xenophage, you can quickly take it down. So now I finally took down the Major. Now there's going to be 2 barrier champions. I like to first take down the first one up ahead. And I definitely be careful, because the second sniper champion will try to snipe you. And I'll be using my super. So once I take down the barrier champion with my super, then I proceed to the second barrier champion. I want to break the shield to get charge of light so I can get 20% weapon damage. That way it could be much easier to take down the barrier champion. Now you can use your heavy weapon, but because on PS4 the recoil is just so bad for far distance, I decided to just mainly use my pulse rifle, or if I had grenades I'll just spam it and use it. So once I do take down the barrier champion, then I can proceed to the other ads, the Vex and Cabals. So they do like to fight each other, which is very good, and they are actually helping me dealing with this unstoppable champion. So I'm using the Hawkmoon so I can do some DPS and take down the Minotaur Void Shields and the red ads. So now for here, I wanted to just take my time and take down the last Minotaur. So now I can take down the Vex and deal with the champions below. I also like to mention to be careful, especially when using your Warmind cell, to take cover if you are on red health. So now first I like to take down the barrier champion since it's the most dangerous, and it likes to spam the machine gun. So I always try my best to take it down quickly. So I was debating to use my super, but I decided to just wait since I didn't really need it too much. Once I took down the barrier champion, I decided to take down the unstoppable champion. There is also another barrier champion all the way from the back, and it will be hiding behind a rock. I will be showing you very soon of how I deal with the last one. There are times where I accidentally miss the champion since this Nightfall change. A couple seasons ago, I remember it was Overload and barrier champions. Now it's switched to unstoppable champions. So I'm not sure which one I like better. I like both, but then again we're not using bows for overload champions, so I would prefer this over overload champions where we don't have bows to deal with them. So I like to go on cover over here. It likes to spam its rockets, and then I'll quickly take down the barrier champion. Once I do, I can use my finisher to get some heavy for my machine gun. Then I'll be proceeding to the next area. So Inverted Spire, I remember this was my first time doing my solo, or my second time on Prestige Nightfall years ago with Hunter. So, you know, this brings back little memories. So now we're going to deal with this very dangerous barrier champion. So I was trying to do some critical hits with the Hawkmoon, but it wasn't working out. I was getting flinch from its machine gun, and it could be a little annoying, especially using Hawkmoon. And I was having a hard time seeing where I can hit the critical hit with it. So yes, it could be a little headache here and there. And you can see there, I'm trying to do critical hit shots so I can do massive DPS. Now with the Hawkmoon, I do recommend to have high energy fire since it will do 20% damage. You can actually do the final blow, the one bullet around 63k with high energy fire, which is very good. Very good DPS, almost like a sniper for the one bullet. So now we're gonna go proceed to the next area, and unfortunately I messed up my jump. And I was supposed to go on top of the platform. So little things, I make mistakes, and I decided to just go this path, plan B, you know? So there's gonna be 3 champions. There's gonna be unstoppable, and 3 barrier champions, which is very RNG where they are, where they stand, and it could be very annoying. So now I wanted to kill the first barrier champion with my super, and I was just trying to bait if I should shoot the barrier champion or take down the void cabal. So I decided to take down this red ad and then deal with the barrier champion with my super. So once I staggered, immediately I used my super. That way the second barrier champion won't gain up on me. Then I like to go on top of this platform, and I like to take my time taking down this barrier champion. Now you can use your Hawkmoon to do critical hits on this barrier champion, but the thing about these barrier champions is the critical spot is in the middle, and it could be a little buggy trying to hit precision shots, and it could be a little annoying. And I really hate these barrier champions. I prefer the Cabal or the Fallen barrier champions than the Vex. Or the Sniper champions. So now I decided to do some DPS with the Hawkmoon. So in this footage I tried to show more of the Hawkmoon, so this run is a little slow because I wasn't really using my heavy a lot, and mainly using the Hawkmoon for DPS. Just to show you guys how powerful the Hawkmoon can be, especially for the boss fight. The Hawkmoon is really good for the boss fight, and I really did enjoy doing DPS, especially the second phase. It was very fun. So there's gonna be 2 snipers from left and right, and there's gonna be a wave. Well, there's gonna be a couple of ads where you can throw your nade. So what I like to do is take down this sniper, since it can 2-shot me. So Cabals like to throw nades, and I was very happy that they did not throw a nade on my Guardian. So sometimes they can do, especially in Grandmaster. So I definitely would be cautious. And it can one-shot you on Grandmaster. Unless you have Concussive Dampener, I guess it could 2-shot you. But I haven't fully tested out. So now we're going to deal with this barrier champion. I like to go around here and throw my nade. For some reason, this barrier champion doesn't seem to attack you, and then just does this weird, odd animation. Not really sure what it's doing, but I'm definitely going to take advantage of it and quickly use my super to stagger it. There's going to be 2 of these mini bosses, Cabals. and you can take them down from left and right inside the mini building. Now I will say to be very careful since they can melt you if you're not too careful. So I was being a little cautious because there are times where I did die from these guys, especially me trying to mess around with the Hawkmoon kinetic weapon. So you can see here I was messing around a little bit, you know, trying to see how much damage I can put, especially hitting with critical hit shots. And you can see there that I missed. So, you know, it can move a lot and it can be very dangerous. So I highly recommend to be very cautious. So next what I like to do is go to the next room where we're gonna deal with the next mini Cabal boss. I was just looking for some primary ammo since I was low, very low on primary weapons, especially on the pulse rifle. So now I'm going to deal with the next major Cabal, and you can see there it can melt you. I even have arc resistance and still it can damage you pretty bad. So I decided to charge up a bit with this mini major, and sometimes they do that. It could be a good or bad thing, but I recommend to be cautious because it can spam you while going backwards. And you saw there it did the moonwalk, unfortunately, and it was hiding. So always take it down quickly, and we'll be proceeding to the next section. There's gonna be 2 solar cabals. I like to just skip them since they're very, very harmless. So I quickly activate the teleporter, and now we're going to deal with this unstoppable champion, which is very, very annoying. So over here I decided to hide over here, crouch behind this little wall, and I like to first take down a couple of cabals. Depending on where the champion is, I wanted to stagger it and quickly use my super. So once I do stagger the unstoppable champion, then I'll quickly DPS it before it can push me off the platform. So I'm just looking at the radar, and you can see that this champion can be a little dangerous. So once I stagger it, I decided to use my super, and I highly recommend use your super or Xenophage. Xenophage will be your best friend. I was debating to use Xenophage, but I'm probably going to use Xenophage on the next Nightfall. Which the next one's going to be very toxic. So I'm debating to do it or not. Not really sure. You know, I think it's togetherness, and I do not like togetherness. So there's going to be two red ads, and there's going to be a machine gun barrier champion, which I like to take down from over here. So I decided to use my Hawkmoon, and I did miss 2 or 3 critical hits. So you can always take your time as well, but at the same time the barrier champion likes to spam his shield. That's why I was using my Hawkmoon a bit too fast. And you can see there, if you do critical hits, you can do massive DPS on the 3 or 2 bullets. So now there's gonna be these 2 ads. They like to chase you. So I like to go over here, and I also like to say be careful because there is an invisible wall. And I hug the wall, go on this little edge, and then just wait for these 2 ads to walk towards me. So now I'm just trying to take them down with heavy. And once I do, I decided to wait for my super. And I'm going to do a mini time skip for this. So I highly recommend to wait for your super, or if you have Xenophage, make sure you reload, and we're getting ready to fully defeat the unstoppable champion. So there's going to be a wave of ads and an unstoppable champion, which I highly recommend you take it down because they can follow you and they will kill you. And along with a lot of ads chasing you at the same time. So once I got my super, I activate and pop a healing riff, and you can see there that this unstoppable champion is buggy, so always try your best to stagger it 2 times. And once I do, I defeat it very quickly, and then I run around. I run around until it's 100% so I can proceed to the next area. Another thing I like to mention is do not kill any ads, don't throw your grenade while running in circles, because depending how many ads you kill, then there's going to be another wave of ads which they can kill you. The spawns of where they spawn on the platform can kill you while you're running around in circles, so I highly recommend just to keep running in circles and don't throw a grenade in the floor. This Nightfall is enough points for 100k. So there's really no need to take your time to clear down all the ads. So once we're 100%, we're going to proceed to the next area and skip these ads since there are no champions here. So there's going to be a couple of champions. There's going to be unstoppable that sometimes likes to hide or push towards you. And there's going to be void shield cabals as well, which they can be very annoying since they can shoot fire from far distance. Then there's going to be 3 snipers from the right side, which can be easily taken down since there is an explosion little box where you can shoot with a pulse rifle. So once I took down the snipers, I like to try my best to deal with the red ad. So there is an unstoppable champion that just likes to hide and run around in circles left and right. What I like to do is first take it down with the Hawkmoon kinetic weapon. Because the champion was way too close, I decided to go over here so it can pull back and reset. So once it resets and goes all the way back like a gentleman, I decided to do more DPS with the Hawkmoon. You can see there I did miss a couple shots. Since we have Charger Light, we can do 20% more damage with the Hawkmoon weapon. I was trying to do critical hits, so I can show you how much damage you can do with the Hawkmoon. So you can see there, exactly around 63k on the last bullet. So you can see how powerful it is when having Charge of Light, High Energy Fire with the Hawkmoon. It's very powerful. It'll be very powerful for the boss fight. So now there's going to be a couple ads. There's going to be a Void, Major, Cabal, and of course another unstoppable champion. Now from a couple of seasons ago, I remember it was Overload champions. I will say this is way more easier than the one dealing with the Overload. Unless we have bows, then yeah, it would be pretty... it wouldn't be too bad. So first I like to do is just multitask. The Major sometimes likes to shoot, and at the same time the champion can push you. But if you go on top of the platform, it will pull back. So I wanted to just try my best to lure the unstoppable champion. Then it will pull back a bit, but I wanted to stagger it so I could do DPS with the Hawkmoon, much more easier than trying to do it from far away, since on console it's a bit of a headache with the recoil and the range. So now what I like to do is take it down quickly. I could use my finisher, but I decided to just use the Hawkmoon weapon. So you can see there I was just messing around with the kinetic weapon throughout this Nightfall. Now there's going to be 3 champions, and one champion is the most dangerous in this area. And of course there's going to be drills spinning around in circles, which I highly recommend you do not jump over them, on top of them, because they will one kill you and it's not going to be very pretty. So in here I decided to take down the snipers quickly because they like to shoot this void where it makes you jump in the air and those drills can kill you. And we don't want that to happen. This barrier champion likes to spam its machine gun. Basically it has a heir apparent weapon, and for some reason it's very useful when it's attacked on, us. And for some reason it's powerful when barrier champions use it, but when we use it, it's not that powerful. It's kind of weird, to be honest. I want to first stagger the barrier champion and quickly use my super. I also was being a little cautious. You can see there I quickly cancel my super since I felt like I was way too close over the drill. I'd like to first take down this red bar, and we're gonna go on top to go to a different platform to deal with the 2 champions. Since we don't have Xenophage, we have to go a little bit close range to deal with the barrier champions. Of course you can go here even if you have Xenophage. So now I'm just going over here. I'm going to wait for the drill to pass by. Then I'm going to go to the other platform. Once I do, I'm going to take down the barrier champion. So there are 2 and sometimes they like to gain up on you. So if he has Xenophage, I would recommend to take them down very, very quickly. Because you can see here that the second barrier champion saw me. They can both gain up on you. And it can be not fun, especially when the second champion can pop his barrier. And it can block your way for DPS for the first champion. Now you can use your Hawkmoon to do critical hits on the champion, but the critical hits for these barrier champions are really, really annoying to do since it's a little buggy to do precision shots with these barrier champions. I'm trying to remember if I did use a Hawkmoon on this footage or not. I don't think I did. But I have tried it. Oh, okay. So you can see here I'm trying to do critical hits on the barrier champion. And you can see there that I'm just doing critical hits. Like not even the middle, but from the below right or left. And like I said, it's really buggy. And I really, really hate these barrier champions. Especially when using a sniper. They can be super, super annoying. So once I do take down the last barrier champion, we're going to proceed to the boss fight. And now we finally we're going to deal with the boss fight, where the boss fight, it's going to be almost like Lake of Shadows-ish, where it won't be as dangerous as it looks. It looks scary, but it's not scary. So what I like to do is just farm my charge of light times 3 so I can get high energy fire, 20% weapon damage, and I can take advantage of it when dealing DPS at the boss. So now I'm going to throw my nade and quickly use my super so we can go to the second phase, or the second mini room. So it's going to teleport and we're going to do some DPS using the Hawkmoon. So what I like to do is go to a platform where I can hide, where I can crouch to hide if I need to regain my health. So now I'm going to go over here and then try my best to use the Hawkmoon to do critical hits. So you can see here, the Hawkmoon is really good for bosses, especially this one, since the critical hit is pretty noticeable. I mean, it isn't hard to shoot. And this is with high energy fire, by the way, so you can see how much damage you can do. And it's really amazing. And I was just waiting for the next room. You can see there that I think I did kill the boss a little bit too fast. And the third room wasn't spawning. So now what I like to do is do some DPS at the boss, but there's gonna be a wave of ads spawning very soon, and this is something very interesting because the last time I played Inverted Spire, the ads do take time to spawn and it shows the animation or you hear it, but the Bungie did change a bit where they do spawn very sneakily in this boss fight. That's what I noticed a lot for this one. So if this was Grandmaster and Chaff, I would have to be really cautious. I might even have to turn off the audio just to hear the footsteps for the Vex. So there's going to be a mini wave of ads. There's going to be harpies, Vex walking, and this is when sometimes can be a little trouble, where the boss can sometimes shoot you and blind you at the same time, and a couple of ads that can push or pull back near the boss. Once I take down a couple of ads, I decide to push and take down the remaining goblins. So I was just waiting for my health to regain and then kill the remaining ad. So since we have our super, I wanted to make sure the boss's health is all the way where the letter M is. That way it won't move. And of course I can skip the second phase of the ads and skip the third phase of the ads since we're going to be using our super to take it down quickly. So sometimes the boss can blind you. You can see there that it did blind me and I had to use my healing rift. So I decided to wait for my healing rift to recharge again. That way I can use my healing rift to use it to have it just in case. Once I get my healing rift charge up, I use it and I decide to use my super to take it down quickly. So once I do, I just use my super and there you go. Thank you so much for watching. So the boss isn't too bad. I would say just getting to the boss fight can be pretty tough for this Nightfall. So yeah, the Hawkmoon is very powerful on the bosses, especially when you have higher energy fire. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.
switch off.